Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some interesting news when it comes to Xbox, where it does kind of seem like once again, Xbox is on the trend where a lot of folks are calling out Xbox and very unhappy with what they're kind of basically offering, what people are spending money on, and everything all in between. And as well, we also have a little bit of interesting Last of Us news too as well, which if you guys are actually going to watch the premiere or actually may already be done, depending on when you guys have a chance to go and see this video, let me know your thoughts on it. I'm definitely going to check it out throughout this week. As one, I hope it actually turns out pretty good. But first and foremost, we have some kind of crazy Xbox news because we've had like a very continuous issue with Xbox Live. Their offerings, games they're offering, and a lot of folks are even kind of getting kind of anti-Game Pass and all the other Xbox offerings. So I was going to talk about that. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, make sure you guys check on the How link down below to go save a bunch of money on your reservations. Down below, we have the Twitter and Twitch stream if you guys want to follow, hang out, and chill. We also have the Target links down below. We have the Amazon links down below, and let's dive into the video itself. So very first and foremost, let's go talk about this Xbox drama where, if you guys don't know, there's a service called Xbox Live. You know, who would have thought? Who'd have thunk it? You know, whatever. Everyone all just likes their Game Pass nowadays, unlike me who grew up on the 360 and the original Xbox. But we actually did go make a video on this not too long ago, where the Xbox Live also offers free games. So kind of how PS Plus has their individual games once a month, and people have a chance to check them out, get their consoles, get some cool games, and you know, kind of get some bonus perks, whatever it might be. And as they do that, well, they just add more games to the game catalog. But as of recently, people have been upset. Like the last few months have been horrendous, and this new month is, well, nothing new, where a lot of folks were absolutely upset with Xbox. They were going and wanting to cancel their subscriptions. They just think it's a bad offering and everything in between. So let's go talk about this. So as the Xbox Live Gold subscribers are calling out now this brand new free offer from Xbox, and a lot of folks are just getting upset with their value. So Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers have gone through a bit of a rough patch recently, considering how this month's free games with Gold were received compared to the PlayStation Plus titles, and how the Xbox Game Pass games were added in recent weeks. Following those events, which were largely perceived as setbacks or downgrades by subscribers, the free play days games, or game in this case, also made a really odd turn of events that hasn't really gone unnoticed, and people are getting pretty upset when it comes with Xbox. So the free play days, it's kind of such a weird way to say that, are announced on every Thursday, and this time Xbox Live Gold and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers can play the game that I've actually played before, it's not a bad game, called I Am Fish. It's kind of like a ragey type game, where basically, like, you know, you go through the game, like you're a little fish in a bubble, you're trying to escape. So you go through different levels, and like, it's like a ragey type game. You have to be like concise. If you fall off, like you lose your fish, you have to restart over. Like, it's like not an awful game. But one big issue with this is that people are just not happy with it. You know, they want a little bit more. So it has like good reviews, and I played the game itself. It's not that bad. But the problem people have with this one is this built, first of all, being a free-to-play for the weekend, is the fact that it's only game that's included for this round of the free play days. So kind of like the premise of this is think like a multiplayer game. So they would do something like a Call of Duty for free, a Rocket League for free, Fortnite. I know some of those are free to play, but just for example. So any type of multiplayer game, or maybe you don't have Xbox Live, or maybe you just want to check out the game and see if it's fun, like a Rainbow Six, you have to pay money for it, stuff like that. So basically people are expecting and kind of have the standard of like, oh, it'll be a multiplayer game that has a reason for it. Maybe it bumps up the player base for the game, and like they may get more additional sales, microtransactions, more players who may go and bolster up the usual playthroughs, you know, whatever it might be. So if you take the look at the archives for the free play, it's such a weird thing to say, free play days games, you'll see a history of what's been made temporarily free to play over the past couple of weeks. So this includes things like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, NBA 2K23, Rainbow Six Siege, Dead by Daylight, to give an example of the games. But the one thing they all have in common, though, is that there are multiple games made free to try each week. So number one, they've had multiple times of like multiple different games, but as well, they also had multiplayer games too. So it's like a double whammy. So it's kind of like hey, we got this random offer that I'm sure some folks are happy and some folks are cool with it, but don't forget you're also paying for the subscription service. So obviously a lot of folks are kind of upset with it. So as you guys can see, basically, sometimes you have multiple games, like 3 games being offered at once. Sometimes it's 2 or even 4, but it hasn't been since the week of September 29th that only one game, which is the WRC 10 FIA World Rally Championship, which I probably would not play it myself, was the sole game in the free days lineup. And this kind of goes into a lot of the Xbox Live stuff because we've seen people complain about these free game offerings and then just kind of lackluster because, like I said, you are paying for these subscriptions. And one of the bigger things I think people are complaining about is this game is also already on Xbox Game Pass. So it's kind of like a double dipping as well, which I mean, this is like kind of like first world problems a little bit. It's not really the world's worst thing known to man to, well, like have a free-to-play game, but don't forget, like I said, you're paying for it. It's like if Netflix, they gave you like the same show and it's mediocre, you might after over time want to go and maybe cancel. So basically, a lot of folks are saying like by itself, it's not a big deal, but the situation's been compounded now by people who were already asking what was going on with Xbox, given the recent Xbox Game Pass and Xbox games with gold situations. And we made a video on this not too long ago where people are just upset with Xbox. Like they just want better deals, especially if they're paying money for it. Also didn't go unnoticed by Xbox fans that a Bossa Studio developer was the one who also suggested late last year that the Xbox Series S was holding back the development of games, which is also funny too because that game also is like the same game that they're trying to promote. So you have the one guy who's kind of sassing people on the Xbox Series S, so then anyone who might be an Xbox Series S subscriber is kind of like, well, you're the only game option for here. You clearly were already like insulting anyone who enjoyed your game in the first place, or like just wants to maybe enjoy your game in the first place. And well, everyone's just upset because it's just like, what? Like, why do I even want to care about this game dev? They don't even like me. They don't want me playing their game. So why should I even play their game, even if it's free? If it is free, then they're insulting us and insulting my game because maybe I can't afford an Xbox Series X, or maybe I'm not as hardcore as some other folks might be, or no, just maybe budget-wise or whatever. So they obviously get a little bit upset because it's just a weird, like, all-around triple whammy. So basically, there's going to be new games offered next week, so I'm sure less folks are going to be upset, and I'm sure Xbox sees this and be like, okay, let's try to go put a little cherry on top. But even going through the tweets, some people are like, just one title, it's already on Game Pass, it's pretty weak. This totally justifies this $60 a year. I'm not going to complain because at least last week was pretty awesome too as well. I beat the story for the new Saints Row last week for free. I'll just accept this, there were 3 games last week. I'm looking like a genius for canceling Game Pass due as well. I mean, like, some people are okay with it, but like, look, that one dev that hated the Series S worked in this game too as well. Like, just people are just not happy about this, like, people are just not really cool with it. Like, that's it. Jesus Christ too as well. Like, just like people like, brah, what, wow, like, yeah, we still get free game weekends because of gold, which I swear people forgot that is even a thing over here. Even this is falling apart too as well. Just a lot of folks, even if they paid me over here, shameful, what garbage. I'm not even an Xbox owner, but I'm mad at this. Like, you guys can see a lot of folks are just really not happy with these in the comments down below. So I probably would be too. Like, I'd probably want more, especially if I'm spending money on this, and Xbox maybe has to step up their stuff a little bit more, or maybe just kind of cycle over and over and maybe Game Pass itself. Now, as well, we do actually have The Last of Us, which is probably airing around the time, or just aired. By the time this video goes live, I'll probably watch it throughout this week. We actually have some cool news where Neil Druckmann says that The Last of Us multiplayer project that has been kind of leaked / talked about for a while is one of the most ambitious projects ever. The most ambitious project we've ever done, which is kind of cool to see because we want new games coming out. So Naughty Dog co-president Neil Druckmann has claimed in a recent interview that the untitled Last of Us multiplayer project is the most ambitious project that Naughty Dog has ever worked on. Now, we may want to go talk about this more in a separate video too as well, so in case you guys see this like more elaborate on there, feel free to be on the lookout for it. Although we've known that Naughty Dog is working on a multiplayer project in the Last of Us universe, or factions too, as they had for the first game. For some time now, there's very little of that we actually know about it. We've only seen 2 pieces of concept art so far, and only have some job listings to get an idea of what the game's about. But the Naughty Dog is making it clear just how much of a big deal it is. So in a recent interview with thecomicbook.com that was highlighted by Twitter user Dom the Bomb YouTube, Druckmann is also asked about what the team at Naughty Dog is currently working on, which kind of causes him to bring up this Last of Us multiplayer game, which is all around pretty sick as well. It's been in development for quite some time, and Druckmann then notes that it's been the most ambitious project that the team has ever worked on, noting that telling a story in multiplayer has been quite a challenge, which I wouldn't doubt it, at all. So, there's the Last of Us multiplayer project that we've been working on for a long time, since even before The Last of Us Part 2 even shipped. That's the most ambitious project we've ever done, expanding the world even further, continuing to tell the story, but in a multiplayer space, I won't say much about that. And I really want to play this game really, really bad. So they also announced too they have some other games or they've announced games earlier before, so they're trying to keep everyone's like expectations set and low and not trying to get people too hyped up for it. But with the show, if it has really good reception, which so far it has been, I'm gonna be a little bit intrigued to see what happens over on. They also have another game to announce as well that they're in the stuff going on with that, so hyped up for that one. So give me your thoughts in comments for all this one. Are you guys an upset Xbox member? Did you guys watch the Last of Us show, or are you guys hyped up for the multiplayer? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Also, we have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow. Check on the how links as well down in the description or comments. We also make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on and check on those Target and Amazon links. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.